Hey guys, today we are going to build a terminal UI application where we can basically explore the file that you're on, some directories, and a preview pane where the preview of whichever file that we are on is gonna end up on the preview pane. So it's kind of like Yazi. It is a minimal time. Uh, yeah, it is a minimal time-bound project, which is going to be a very short project, but we are going to go through some of the basic stuff to build this kind of command line application um, in a like production ready way. So yeah, enjoy. But let me give you a demo first how the project is gonna look like. All right. So if we run just go one go, as you can see on the left side we have our parent view. On the middle, we have the current view, and on the right side, it's going to be called like the preview mode. So if you press H, you're just using Vim navigation, home row keys, H, J, K, L, where H to go left, L to go right, J to go down, and K to go up. So yeah, and it's pretty fast. And let's go to previous directories. There you go. Let's go into logger. There we go. So yeah, we're going to build a minimal version of this. You can find the total project in my GitHub, and yeah, let's follow along. So today we are going to build a terminal file explorer. So let's cd into the folder, and I just created a YouTube practice. That's what I call the folder, and yeah, just creating a name. Let's call it TUI Explorer, and let's cd into it. All right, let's go. So at first we need to init the folder. So like just like npm init, Go has its own format. So which is like Go mod init, your GitHub handle, and then the name of the project. So we're gonna use bubble tea, uh, which is a dependency for this project. Bubble tea is used to create terminal applications. Well, it's a pretty good library, so check it out. It's awesome, and things are pretty straightforward. All right, let's get into the editor and let's create a main.go file. And we start with, as usual, package.main. All right. So one thing that is we need to understand is that since we are following bubble tea and this framework, it kind of depends on the Elm architecture, where like model view and the update style. So we are going to create our model struct. Let's make it an empty struct, and we create our first init function. Um, we are going to take t.cmd as a return value. Yep. All right. Um, there you go. So we are going to use the bubble tea, and let's do go more tidy. Um, it should solve our import issues. There you go. Yeah. All right. Um, we create our next function, and we're going to take model as the parameter and put it inside m, and let's call it the update function. And we're going to return a message where it's going to return two things, a model and a command. Since we did our model struct, and we're going to need a switch and case statement, and let's put the message variable, and we put our type here there, and we are going to listen to the keystroke. where with key and control C, the terminal application should quit or close up. So we're gonna make sure that that it's equal to the message or string that we're getting. And if it is equal to Q or control C, we are gonna quit the application. There you go, return M and I'm quit. All right. And we are giving some compiler error here. We're going to take a look at, okay, what are we doing wrong? Oh, yeah. We should take in the model as a parameter. And yeah, let's see what else did we miss. All right. No, we are returning them correctly. So it should be okay. Uh, all right. Oh, I know. These errors are coming because we are not following the Elm architecture. So yeah, as soon as we create the rest of the model and view, I mean, yeah, the view and the, I think we are missing the view part of our architecture. So yeah, let's create um, a view function where we take in the model, we name it, yeah, view, and it should return a string. And let's return first now, hello, TUI world, and you can press Q to quit. There you go. And our compiler errors are gone. So we create our main function where we initialize our first program and put in model as the parameter. And then we just run it. It's pretty straightforward with bubble T, where alongside with Go conventions, it's pretty error free. And in the end, we must exit the program with a status code of 1. And let's run it and see our program is running or not. Go run main.go. There you go. Hello TUI world, and it works. Yeah, let's move on to next section. All right, we will be extending our program to list the current directory and at least navigate the files in that directory with home row keys HJKL. We create an entry struct where we return the names as a string and a Boolean function if is a directory or not. So let's call it that. And we are creating another struct, which is a model, which is listing current working directory as a string, entries as a list of entry, and cursor, which is the caret cursor, as an integer function, so which we can increase and decrease to navigate. So we creating a function called readdir, taking string as a parameter and entry as a return value. We put files inside, reading the directory inside the files variable. We're taking in the path as a current path as the working directory, so that we find, like, if it's not in the current path, we should not be viewing at all. All right. I hope it makes sense. We are putting the list of entries in the variable out, and we are going through a loop, and which is going to create a list of directory and appending the entry as a name and making sure if it's a directory as f.isdir. All right, and we're going to slice it. Let's do some slicing. And all right. First, we're going to match the directories, and we're going to make sure it's alphabetical, like Yazi. So yeah, if the first pointer is not equals to the second pointer, we will return the first pointer. Yeah, this should return the um, current files as into the list we are creating. Yeah, there you go. And we're making sure it's all lowercase so that it looks really cool, like a real terminal app. All right, and there you go. So this is just a fail safe against some mismatches we can have. All right, there you go. We return it, and we should be good to go. Let's delete out the empty spaces. All right. So we should create another function, which is it should be the initial model. And because we are following the L architecture, we should be separating our model from our views. So yeah, we create a model and put the current working directory inside the variable CWD. And this is a OS level function, which is pretty straightforward if you read the documentation. All right, we are getting entries as the read directory, and we are going to take current working directory as the parameter. It should return the whole list of files that we have in the current working directory, which is the CWD. All right, let's see if everything is good to go. We should be updating. All right, we should update our view since we created the model, and we should be able to put things in the view file so we can see what's actually happening. All right, let's start with update. Okay, we'll do the view later. With the switch statement, we are going to make sure we can navigate. So um, let's do like we're reading for the keystroke. If it's equals to the string equals to q and or control C, we're going to return the t.quit ensures like we are quitting the program. And if not, we are going to go down with J. We should be going downward, which is increasing the integer value. And if we are going up, we should be decreasing. All right, we minus minus. There you go. Oh my God, what's happening? There you go. It is equal to less than zero, greater than zero. We do the minus minus, which is decreasing the value. All right. This seems okay. We should update the view function now. And yeah, if we do a string builder and write that string, okay, we are taking we're making sure everything is in new line, so we don't get things side by side. Okay, we are going to loop over the list of entries and make sure like we see a caret pointer pointing to the file that we have right now, so to like understand what we are going through the directory. All right, so if it's equals to an empty space, we do the caret, and if name is equals to the directory name, then we print the directory. And we also should be putting things in a new line. So we should call the cursor. So let's remove the empty space and the cursor. So this is just simple regex here. If you don't understand regex, you should probably do some basic crash courses on regex. It's straightforward. We should return the string. Ah, there you go. Okay, what are we missing? We are missing. Oh, there you go. There's some typos and clear up the unused imports. All right, let's check it out. Let's see if it's right, if it's okay or not. Before that, we should address this. This is a small linting error. There are some conventions on how you do things, so the compiler enforces you to do things in new way. So which is okay, but I'm gonna go with the default way that I'm used to doing it, which also works, by the way. So let's run main.go. All right, it's not working for some reason. Let's find out why it is not working. So yeah, the functions are okay. We are returning things. We are putting them in a new line. It should be working, but it is not. Mhm. All right. Yeah. So all the functions are okay, but yeah, we are not calling it in the main functions. I hope you caught that before I did. We create. Remember, we created the initial model where we print out the things. So if you see, if you check the main function, we are returning only the model. So yeah, let's clear things out. It's not going to run now. I'm just making sure that you understand it's not going to work, and we are going to change it to initial model and do it again. Clear things out. Press run go run main.go, and it should be working. There you go. You can move up and down with J and K, and perfect. Moving on to the next part, we should update our structs to have our three pane view. Let's create a pending, which is pending G, which is a boolean. So yeah, um, yeah, we should update our switch and switch statements. Where let's make sure like things like Vim stuff works. Double G to go to the first sequence, and Shift G to go to the last, just like Vim. So we should let's do that. Okay, let's go to the messenger string, which is a key press, and if it is a boolean, if it's true, we're going to set it to false, and then we're going to listen for the next G. If we listen for it, and if we like get the next G, we should make it move the cursor to 0, which should move the cursor to top and return model and nil. All right. All right. Okay. Let's look out for other, move all of them into a bigger switch and switch statement. All right. So we got our base case, and let's move on to the other cases. Yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, we're doing it correct. Yep, yep, we are doing it correct. Let's move on to the other keystrokes, where we also look for HJKL. Go to left and right, left and right to go to directories, and also to exit out of directories. All right, let's listen for G. So if it's equals to G, we are going to set the pending equals to true. So we should wait. All right. And if it's capital G, we are going to move the cursor to the last line. All right. How we do that? We should the cursor, and we should subtract the length of the entries by 1, so that we go to the last. So yeah, let's listen to K. So when we press K onto the keyboard, it should go left, and we take the left, and we will Yeah, interselected. I'm calling it interselected because it should enter into whatever directory you have selected. So yeah, these are the functions that we are going to create soon. But yeah, let's just create our other case statements where if it's control plus D, we should be like, yeah, deleting. Oh no, not deleting. In Vim, control D actually scrolls down. So yeah, we're going to scroll down. And how do we scroll down? We just, yeah, we take the minimum value of the cursor and the length of the entries. Okay, and we are scrolling up by just reversing the value. There you go. And we're making a return statement. We should return M and nil. And oh yeah, there you go, typo. Yeah, but all right. All right. I think I have named it wrong. With left, it should not enter. It should go to the parent. So yeah, let's fix that. With L, it should be enter selected where m goes to m dot enter selected. It should be go enter selected, meaning we are going into the current directory. And let's remove this. We call it go to parent and enter selected. Let's create both of these functions. We're gonna name, yeah, we're gonna take m model as before, and let's name it go to parent, and we're gonna return the model as well, and put yeah, file path. Let's do it. Let's do the directory. So this is just OS level functions. These are I'm calling. If you don't understand them, just pause out and read the manual pages. Now we have to read the current directory. So let's call the current directory parent, and we are going to list the parent inside the read directory function and call the parent inside the parameter. All right. And we have to also set the cursor to 0 in case we don't want to have some janky reload every time. So we have to set the cursor to 0 so that we go to the first line. All right, let's create then the second one. We name it enter selected, and we call return the model as before. Okay, let's make sure if the list is empty, if the current directory is empty, we still return the directory. And we also have to make sure the selected the caret when moves, it's underneath the right right folder. Yeah, and let's make sure we have a new path whenever if the current directory is like we make sure like we go to left and all the directories inside the preview parent view goes does not affect the current view that we have. So yeah, so this is one of the way you can do it. If it doesn't make sense, I'm gonna show it in a second. It's gonna make sense. So we list out the entries. We put the current new path inside the read directory function, and we also make sure our cursor is set to 0 so that we can move easily. And yeah, there is a mistake. I have to turn it into yeah, yep, there you go, and turn it into equal, and we are good to go. Let's run this, and oh, there is another error. Let me delete that, and yeah, let's run it. Go run main.go, and we have, yep, it is working. We can go up and down. We can go to previous folders. Yep. With H, we go to previous. With L, we go inside the folder, and it is working perfectly. So let's move on to the next stage. Let's build out our three pane view, where left view shows us whichever folder we are on, our parent view. So it's going to be pane. We're going to build the pane struct in a moment, and we're going to call the current pane, which is the active pane we operate on, and the preview pane, which shows whatever folder or items are available. So let's create the pane struct. It's a path. It's going to take in a path and list of entries. Yep, taking a single entry, uh, not single entry, a list of entries, and a cursor, which is also going to take integer values. And okay, we don't need that. Let's remove that and let's close that. Open it. Yeah. All right. Um, we need another function. We need refresh panes. We're going to create that in a moment. But let me go through all of them and see what we are missing. We are reading the current directory. We have our list of files, and we need to show them in a view. But we need to refresh the view every time we change our directory. So yeah, let's create a refresh panes. It takes in a model and also returns a model struct. I mean, returns a model. Just like before, we read the parent, and this time it's inside the pane. We are reading files, the file path, which is okay. Why is it not showing? Oh, there you go. I'll just remove that and use our file path. We go inside the pane and create path should be file path, and we are reading the directory, which is them.current directory, and list of entries should be the items inside the current directory. So we call it like that inside the read directory function, and we make a loop where we read all of the items of the current directory only uh, if the name equals to, I mean, name that is actually a current directory, and we put all the items inside the parent cursor. Sorry, we put all the items inside the current directory, and we hold the cursor inside the parent preview, whichever folder we are on, so that we know whichever folder we are exploring right now and whichever one is selected. All right. Let's make sure we handle the edge cases. We handle edge cases like if there are no files, and only show the selected path if there are files. So yeah, this is a good way to handle that kind of edge case. So we make sure the current selected path is the current directory and the selected name. And we also should list out the items inside the current directory to preview so that it looks seamless. Like we are scrolling through different folders and the items are shown in the preview in a dynamic way. Okay. And we have to fix the entries. And I think this will go away once we once we update our view, update our view, which should be, let me think about it. We should separate all the views inside the view function. So let's do that. Let's create a column, and the column width will be the width of the width divided by 3, because we have 3 different views. And let's also update whichever item. Okay, we need a width where we take the width and height of the border that we're going to create to separate our 3 views. We need a parent directory also. So let me think about it again. What should we do? Hmm. I'm just looking through the docs to understand what to do from here. All right, let's create a parent view. We we call in the render pane. Uh, we take in the parent and call with, and it should take in a false. Okay, I'm thinking about how to create the struct. We're going to create render pane struct right now. Uh, this render pane is going to take in a pane as a parameter, the width, and if it's active or not, because we want to differentiate between parent, current, and preview. We have three different views, just like Yazi. Okay. So this is textbook library stuff. So I'm just following along with whatever the documentation is saying. So I'm setting up width. I'm setting up height. Since our width is three different panes, it's going to set it up dynamically according to the screen width. And we have a panning. Okay. We set up. If it's active, it should have a different style. It should have a different color. Let's change the foreground. Yeah, border foreground. Um, let's call it lip gloss. How do they say it? Color, and we give it the color value. Yeah. Else it should be just normal. So two and two should give a pinkish hue, and the rest of the things will be white. So we do the same thing again. Instead of rounded, we make it normal so that we differentiate. We create some contrast, and let's call it a 240, and that is, I believe, white border. And we do the string builder thingy, as I mentioned before. We This is the library agnostic stuff. We need to build the strings in order to print them out inside our pane. So just this is a good trick to remember. So yeah, if directory is a directory, then print it out, and if the cursor is equal to the current cursor, we make sure like each line gets a new style, and it's reverse equals to true, and render should be line. All right, there you go. And we write string, which is going to be line plus new line. So each thing, each items gets printed in a new line, and we return the style. So this is our render pane function, and we just need to create current view, which is going to be render pane. Okay, let's fix that now. Render pane, m dot current, I believe. Yeah, and cool column width and true. Okay, what is happening? Let's fix that. It should not be. There you go. It should be column width, and let's call it preview. Preview view. Tongue twister. Okay. Same as before. We take in the preview. We take in the column width, since that's how we differentiate, and we make sure the row is equals to horizontal rows, and we just stop from top. Current view, we list out three views and we return the row. So this is our full, I think, view is almost done. We need to cover few of the other stuff. So all right, let's fix the error first. Why do we have squiggly underneath entries? Compiler missing field method. Okay, so I believe the reason it's doing that is because entries doesn't know yet if it's current or parent or preview. So you have to print that. But let's go over our case here. So Yep. We set the height and the width, um, and we will be. We have. All right. Yeah. Um, yeah. Let's before we fix that. Let's make sure we are making it to taking all these things into a strings. And all right. So let's go over our struct. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything out in terms of where the current entry is being located. So let's make sure like, yep, entries are okay. And yeah, it should be good to go. Once I just add, yeah, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, current dot entries and current dot entries. So removing that and adding current in front of entries should solve our errors, so that the entries know like this is the current entry that we are passing on to the parent directory and preview directory. Sorry, preview pane. And instead of having three different views, we are passing this read directory single function to different views, depending on whichever folder or directory we are on. So yeah, that should fix the issues. And yeah, we call it in the main file, sorry, main function, and we should be good to go. I'm just checking out documentation here and making sure we have our Elm architecture in place, since we are following the bubble T and lip gloss library. They follow an Elm architecture where it's separated by model, view, and actions. This object functional programming is really fun if you know what to do. It becomes easy to maintain and easy to scale. All right, so I am looking through the documentation, and it looks like we are on the right track, and I have figured out um, how do we proceed from here, because we are reading everything correctly. Each of the directories are listed, and depending on whichever folder we on, preview and parent gets populated, along with current cursor being updated on each refresh. All right, everything looks ready. And we finally call refresh panes over here into the update function, and it should be good to go. Let's run our program, and we run go run and then go. And yeah, it seems to be working, but left and right direction isn't set yet. It's working, but it's janky. But we do have our three separate panes ready. We can go backward and we can go forward, but for some reason we can go down. Let's fix that together, and um, we should be viewing able to fix that issue where we cannot go down. And I think it's as I'm going through the documentation of bubble tea, I believe we need another parent, another function that defines the current path, not the current. I'm sorry, the parent path. So let's create another variable and call it m.parent, and we return we insert our pane here, which is taking the path of reading file path of the current working directory, just like before, but also updating the entries of the parent view, which is reading directory, and we take in the file path directory function and return current working directory. And let's see, go run main.go. And oh, yeah, it is working. We can go down, we can go to left, but my NeoVim terminal is cutting off. Let's clear it out and open it fresh. Go run main.go. And we do have our views. There you go. If there is too much file, it still gets cut off, but it works perfectly. All right. I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.